What is going on, guys? In today's video I will show you the top 3 best builds in Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remastered. So in this guide I will give you a quick overview of each setup, then I will explain the major and minor skills and upgrades that you should focus on. Then as well we'll see what is the best weapons and armor and also how to get them. And then finally we will go over the race, birthsign, specialization, your faction, and even what attributes should you use, so we would be able to get the highest damage possible and much more. Also, if you're interested in buying other PC or console games with 50 or 70% discount, then check out Instant Gaming. For example, I want to buy Elden Ring, so we just click on Add to Cart, then click Pay, then input our details and pay. After payment is complete, we will receive activation key, then copy and paste the key in, and it's that simple. So what are you waiting for? Click my link in the description and check out Instant Gaming for yourself. So let's move over to the first one, which is the rogue build. This setup will focus on attacking in quick successions with the daggers, short swords and sometimes even the long sword. This build includes all the major weapons that the rogue class can effectively use to deal very high damage. You can use a short sword with a shield to further enhance your defenses and block any incoming attacks. The rogue in general has major skills of illusion that you can utilize to cast various spells, or also you can easily charm NPCs for your benefit. So we went with the rogue class because he's swift in combat with some additional charm, as the rogue class possesses attributes of personality and speed, so it will allow you to both charm NPCs for various benefits and also eliminate them very quickly. Next up we have race, and the Imperial is the best one, as they have a very high base personality stat. Being an Imperial in the Sorrow deal will let you have a lot of benefits, such as selling goods for more and purchasing for less, pursuing NPCs and wearing light and heavy armor. Furthermore, you have a decent boost to the blade combat. Next up we have Origin, and the Nibe is the best one because it avoids a penalty to speed. The Nibe background will give you a -10 to willpower, but won't affect your base speed. However, if you go with Colovia, then those stat buffs and debuffs are reserved, so consequently you want to go with the Nibe Origin so that your rogue retains the movement speed. Next we got the birthsign, and of course the thief is the best option for a rogue build, as it will boost several stats that help our mobility. With the thief you will receive a +10 bonus to agility, luck and speed. Agility and speed will greatly help you stay mobile on the battlefield and keep you out of the enemy's reach. Next we have attributes, and speed, personality and endurance are the best attributes for a rogue build, because they increase your magical regeneration, damage and fatigue regeneration. Speed will boost your overall movement speed over the land and also while swimming. Then personality will give you more information from the NPCs, better prices from the merchants, and a chance to avoid combat, while endurance will increase your max health and how much health you gain with each level. It also determines your health regeneration. Next we have major skills, and light armor, blade and the athletics are the best major skills for a rogue build, because they increase defenses, damage and speed. Destruction and blades are the most important ones, so prioritize either the physical or magical skill, depending on which one you use most in fights. While then for minor skills I recommend to go with the acrobatics, security and the speechcraft, as they increase movement speed, help with healing and survivability, which is quite important for our build to function. Next we have equipment, and for weapons I recommend to use the lightweight sharp weapon. The daggers and short swords are the best ones to use in close range combat, as well as while sneaking. So for example, Daedric Dagger is a one-handed weapon that has the highest base damage among any other dagger in the game. Daggers are the fastest melee weapons, which will allow you to deliver their enhancements faster, so this is a very good option. Or perhaps then go with the Daedric Short Sword, which is the best one-handed melee weapon after the dagger to use for the rogue build due to its massive damage capability. I recommend you to pair it with the Daedric Dagger to deal very high damage in tough encounters. And then we have gear, and my first recommendation is to go with the glass armor. It offers excellent protection while remaining light. Glass armor provides a high armor rating, which is very crucial for surviving encounters with the enemies. While then the second option could also be the shrouded armor, which is another good option to use. This armor set will consist of 2 parts, the shrouded armor and the shrouded hood. This will offer several enhancements that favor the stealth-oriented character, and is relatively easy to acquire. Next we have our faction choice, and the Dark Brotherhood is the best option. It provides access to unique quests, rewards and a gameplay style aligning with your rogue playstyle. And completing quests from the Dark Brotherhood can unlock powerful weapons, armor and other items. And now finally, let's quickly take a look at the gameplay. So playing the rogue build is all about moving quickly, attacking in quick successions, and using your personality to charm others. I recommend to to focus on getting close to the enemies, and use quick weapon attacks to eliminate them very quickly. You need to use stamina wisely or else you become vulnerable in most combat situations. You also must learn the art of blocking, as you need to block the incoming attacks while dishing out damage in return. Then as well, keep an eye out on your stamina bar, as blocking can consume more stamina. And the last thing what I like to do is use tight corners and halfways to attack enemies with your primary weapon, and this will guarantee you successful AoE attacks. Then next up we have the warrior build, and this setup revolves around the physical combat using strength, endurance and weapon skills. We will excel in melee combat by using physical strength, endurance and heavy armor to overpower enemies. This build is suited for players who enjoy engaging in direct combat, as they absorb damage and withstand long battles. From the faction and specialization to weapons and armor, everything is very crucial for a warrior build. So let's go over our choice of class, and the warrior is the best one for a physical melee soldier build. Unlike the knights, warriors are fighters who aren't afraid to get their hands dirty. They don't dabble in magic or generally have diplomatic skills, but instead they rely on their combat ability along to overwhelm their enemies. They are incredibly physically capable and have picked up the skills needed to repair armor along the way. As for our race, Nord is the best option. We will receive plus 10 bonus to strength and endurance for males and plus 10 to strength for females. This is crucial for a warrior build as we're focused on physical strength and stamina. Nords are well suited for heavy armor builds. They have 50 frost resistance, which can be useful against specific enemies in certain areas. Then for origin we're going with the Western. The difference between the Western and Eastern origin stats are minus 10 points in either way the willpower or endurance. You want to choose Western because the debuffs minus 10 willpower. And we don't need it as magic and spellcasting is much less of a concern than the physical combat. Therefore plus 10 endurance is better to increase health and survivability. Next up we have our birthsign, and of course the warrior's birthsign is the best option. We will gain plus 10 points in endurance and another plus 10 in strength. Overall, the warrior is the best burn sign if you focus on physical combat and don't plan on using magic or stealth. Additionally, the strength not only increases damage, but boosts the maximum weight you can carry. Then as for attributes, we want to go with strength, endurance and agility, because they increase your damage, health and fatigue regeneration. These three attributes ensure that your character is a warrior who can dominate enemies while maintaining good survivability. And as you level, you can increase these attributes. So what I recommend is to keep this 3-2 and 1 ratio. So for every 6 points, spend 3 in strength, 2 in endurance and 1 in luck. Next up we got skills, and the heavy armor, block and blunt are the best major skills, as they increase damage and survivability. However, depending on your weapon choices, you may want to take the blade instead if you're using a sharp weapon. And then for minor skills we're going with the acrobats, alchemy and alteration, because they increase movement speed, help with healing and utility spells. However, if you're having trouble with survivability, then you might want to level the restoration as an alternative. Then next we have equipment, and for the best weapons we have two options. So either way go with the Diegetic Warhammer, which is a good weapon to use while running the warrior build. Diegetic weapons are among the strongest in the game, offering high base damage. This weapon works well with the warrior build, due to its capability to shatter enemies in melee range. Or perhaps the Umbral Sword is another great option, as it enhances sword with the highest base damage of any one-handed weapon. Unlike the other weapons, this one is unique, and you can only get it by eliminating the Umbra during the Valky's Wild Quest. Then next we have gear. Glass armor is also a good option to choose for a warrior build. It offers excellent protection while remaining light, allowing for agility and stealth. You want to prioritize light armor as warrior to benefit from stealth and movement speed. And then the glass armor also provides high armor base rating, which is crucial for surviving tough encounters. Or then perhaps the second option is the steel armor, which is another good choice. It offers a good balance between the cost and effectiveness. The steel armor is a good starting point for your build, and it offers a significant boost in protection compared to lower tier armor. Next up we have faction, and the Imperial is the best faction to choose, as it offers bonuses to strength, endurance and heavy armor. This faction is well known for its strong military and the civic duties, which aligns very well with the warrior strength and resilience. So then finally, let's quickly take a look at the gameplay. Playing the warrior in the Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remastered is all about embracing the raw power of the physical combat. It's best to maximize your carry capacity as a warrior, because the more strength you have, the more items you get to carry. Then also you need to use stamina wisely, or else you can become vulnerable in most combat situations. Next you must learn the art of blocking, as you need to block the incoming attacks while dishing out some serious damage. And lastly, keep an eye out on your stamina, as blocking consumes more stamina, especially while being a melee warrior. And now finally we have our Mage build. This is a very high damage dealing setup by only using magic. Our playstyle will be all about spamming the right spells on the battlefield for crowd control and damage to the enemies. We are also going to be investing heavily into intelligence, so you can learn spells from each magic school, and thus give us a huge variety of tools for every fight. So, the Mage is the best class for ranged spellcasting build, as it specializes in several different magic schools. This is a very strong magic class, but the downside is that it can take long time to level, because you are specializing in different schools of spellcasting, so leveling each one will require casting spells from each one over and over again. As for our race, the Breton is the best option. It will offer a touch of the Elven ancestry, which makes them the best mages and spellcasters. Acquiring this race will provide you bonuses for all the major skills of the mage. Furthermore, this race will provide great stats for intelligence, luck and willpower. Next up we have Origin, and the Siege Chest is the best selection for a powerful mage build. The difference between the Siege Chest and the high rock Origin stats are minus 10 points in either way the strength or speed. You want to go with Siege Chest because it debuffs minus 10 speed. While this can make exploring on foot slower, you want to prioritize strength, which boosts the encumbrance and helps with the fatigue. Then for birthsign, the Antronas is the best choice, as you gain maximum magic and a chance to absorb spells. The Fortify magic boost is crucial for spellcasting and is a huge increase. However, it comes with the downside of the stand magic, which freezes your magic regeneration. Despite this significant drawback, you can overcome it by using the magic potions and from the spells you absorb. It can make the mage a struggle to play in the early game, but also an absolute powerhouse at the higher levels. Then for attributes, we want to go with intelligence, willpower and endurance, because they increase your magic and magic regeneration, damage and even health. Next up we have skills, and destruction, conjuration and illusion are the best major skills for a mage build, as they increase your damage, survivability and provide crowd control. Destruction will be your main source of damaging enemies with direct magic. You can cast different elemental spells to damage a target's health, fatigue or magic. Moreover, for minor skills we're going with the athletics, mercantile and security, because they help you with the healing and regen, the creation of the soul gems and provides utility spells. Next, as we are mage, so we also have spells, and my top recommendations is Detect Life, which reveals all visible and invisible creatures with a soft purple glow. Then next we have the Soul Trap, that traps the souls of the creature in an empty soul gem. Next we got the Summon Skeleton, which summons a skeleton for 40 seconds to fight besides you. Then also we got the Guard, which is a 30% shield for 30 seconds that reduces incoming damage. And lastly we got the Flash Bolt, that deals 20 fire damage to a target on an impact. Next up we have equipment, and for the actual weapons I recommend to use a staff. It will allow you to continuously cast damaging spells on targets if you run out of magic or your spells are on cooldown. However, you can still use melee weapons like the daggers or the short swords. So my two options are Apotheosis, which is the best staff weapon that you can use to deal damage to enemies without using magic. It deals 33 fire, shock and frost damage to the enemies on impact. If you run out of magic or your spells are on cooldown, then you want to switch to the staff to continue dealing elemental damage. Or then perhaps the second option is the Diegetic Dagger, which is a one-handed weapon that has the highest base damage among any other dagger in the game. Daggers are the fastest melee weapons, which I usually use to take down enemies in melee range, or even for stealth encounters. Then for gear, I recommend to either way go with the robes or the light armor. Using any heavy armor on the magic is a bad choice, because the heavy armor has a very negative impact on the magic. So my two options is the shrouded armor, which is one of the best armors to use while running the mage build. This armor consists of two parts, the shrouded armor and the shrouded hood. It offers several enhancements to favor stealth-oriented characters. Or then perhaps you can also go with the elven armor. It grants you a good balance of protection and stealth, especially the Coriest and boots, and it can be looted from the Azani Blackheart through the Fighters Guild questline. Then as for a choice of factions, the Mage Guild is the best choice for us, as it focuses on magic and skills that complement all mage's abilities. Mage excels with skills like Destruction for potential damage, Alteration for buffs and Restoration for healing, which makes the Mage Guild a good fit for their playstyle, which allows you to dominate the enemies very easily. And now finally, let's go over the gameplay. So we want to use magic to weaken the enemies from a distance, and then switch to a melee when required. You also need to use stamina wisely, or else you become vulnerable in most combat situations. For low levels, I recommend to equip a low damage dealing weapon that gives room for the enemies to attack you. Then also use Speechcraft as your charisma to avoid unnecessary conflict, and lastly use alteration spells to increase the armor rating for enchanted defense. So let me know what you think about these builds in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, then you definitely don't want to miss my previous best builds tier list video, where I showed even more powerful builds. So click the screen now and I'll see you in the next one.